Today I'm gonna record this tutorial to show you how to make layouts in Harmony. And today we're gonna make this layout basically, which is the video list page of Tubics. And as you can see, this video list has two tabs: high potential list and all videos list. And if we gonna do this page in Harmony, we have to actually break it to multiple elements. So we have to understand actually what this page consists of. So from a high level, let's have a note here. So from a high level, you can see that this page consists of first the body of the page, which contains the two things, the navigation bar and the table of the page. So maybe let's write this down. So we have body and under body we have two things. We have the nav bar, side nav, and this side nav has two things in it. It has first title, second first tab, which is high potential, and second tab, which is the all videos. Let's say high potential here and all videos. Okay, so this is the first part. So we have body, the whole body of the page. Maybe we can make it like this. Uh, 1.1 side nav, and in this side nav we have this following things: the title and the side. Yeah, we have the title, we have the first nav bar, we have the second nav bar. So that's the first part, which is the left part of the screen. The second part is the body of the page, like the table itself. Okay, what does this table consist of? First we have title, so same as here we have title, here we have title. Second we have the table body itself. In the table body itself we have two things. We have the table header and we have the table header and we have the table elements itself. Okay, so we have table body and we have table header. Okay, as you can see in the table itself, tables are in general, they are repeating data. So the data that we have is videos, SEO priority, improvement, views, search term, and they are repeating this data basically. So for each row you have video, SEO priority, improvement, views, search term, in this button, video, SEO priority, improvement, views, search term, and this button. So I like to call them actually repeaters, because they repeat over your data and display it on a list. So let's take each part of the table. We have first the table header and we have the table body. Under this table header we have under this table body we have how many columns? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 columns. So let's copy this 6 times. yeah, this is not 6 actually, this is 7. Yeah. So, and in the table body also we have 6 columns because it's the header and the body should have the same number of columns, and the columns also has the same name. So we say column 1 is video, column 2 we have SEO priority, column 3 we have improvements, column 4 we have views, column 5 we have search term, and column 6 we have the buttons, or let's make them call to actions. Okay, so yeah, that's for the table header. So they are just column titles, and each column has a title: video, separate, improvements, views, search term, and CTAs. For the table body itself, in which actually things gets like more interesting. So they are the same columns, but the difference is each column cell contains data in itself. So for column 1 actually it contains data, which is so let's call it data 1. For example, video thumbnail. And data 2 is video title, and data 3 video date, publish date, and video privacy. So here thumbnail, title, date, and privacy. So that's the first column. The second column actually has one single type of data, which is the SEO priority. But this data, the difference is this data is conditional. So we have SEO priority, and between brackets, here I am. Siri, I don't need you. And here it is: high, or high, medium, or low. Okay. So this data here is a conditional data that depends on the SEO priority, but it is the same data basically. And in the third column we have improvements. So we have here improvements. Maybe let's number data. So here's data 1, data 2, data 3, here's data 4, here's data 5. And improvements are, as you can see, improvements are list which contains different types of improvements. So we have thumbnail explicit content, that's an improvement. Search term and entitled, that's an improvement. Thumbnail quality is an improvement. So improvement is basically like a list in itself that contains like some data. And we have another data, and we have in column 4 we have data, let's call it data 6, which is the views, And search term, we have inside search term, you have actually two types of data. Whether you have a search term, so you display the search term, and whether you don't have a search term, so you display this two dots. So we have search term, which is either search term or this two dots thing. And in the final column we have just, this is actually not the data, but because it is not, it's not different for each row, this is just, so let's call it, let's not call it data, but let's call it component. And this component is the call to action. Okay, so now we break down the page to elements. The first element is like the king element is the body, and the under body we have side nav, and we have the table itself. So let's make them bold and maybe bigger font. Bold, bigger font. Yeah, let's make this also bold and bigger font. Okay, so inside the side nav, so the left side of the screen, we have title, we have the first tab, high potential, we have the second tab, which is all videos. The second part, which is of the screen, which is the table itself, it contains of three things: the title of the table here, the table header, and the table body. Okay, so the title is just, yeah, we can just here say title, this is actually a text. Table header is just a text, and this is also 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 a text, and this is yeah, this is basically, the last column is empty because it's just buttons, and it doesn't make sense to just include the text title that says buttons. Okay, so let's move on for the table body itself. So in the table body we have also like 6 columns. We have the video data, which contains of 3 data: the video thumbnail, which is an image, the video title, which is a text, the video date and video privacy, which is text. The SEO priority, which is contains of, actually, yeah, it contains labels. So this is basically a layout. We call this a layout, and inside this layout, let's call it layout of text. Maybe we can go here, yeah, layout of text. Okay, and third thing is, or yeah, maybe not layout with text, but label with text, because this is a label. So this is the label. This is also in the improvements, you can see like also multiple labels. So it's also like yeah, yeah, but it's actually, it's multiple labels plus a text here, which is like this, the number of improvements left. So it's actually a label with text plus text. Views is just a text, and search term is also a text, and CTA is just a component, button component. So yeah, so after we break down the page to the multiple elements, now we can actually jump in Harmony and start actually building these elements. So I will move this tab to to here and just focus on harmony here. Okay. Maybe let's check if we missed anything else. Yeah, maybe we can actually we can have more visual hierarchy here. So as we saw that the table body actually contains the data that we have. So maybe let's have them in a different color. So this is data. So I will have a color of maybe how can I make color? Font. I don't know how to make colors actually. Show colors, yeah. So maybe let's make them blue, for example. So yeah, all the data all the things that are bound to data, I will color them in blue. So that's blue, that's blue, that's yellow. Yellow, that's yellow, that's not yellow because this is not a data, this is just a button. Okay, let's jump right in harmony. So as we say, we have the body. So I will create a layout for the body and call it body. So this is maybe let's delete this. Delete. Okay. You can go here in harmony and you can search for. So this is the harmony editor page. Yeah, maybe I can show you how to go to this page actually. So in harmony project settings, you can go here to project settings, and you can go to add page. Let's call it tutorial 2. Make sure to make the title of the page in this format, because otherwise the page will break. So after each word you should use this dash. Tutorial 2. Okay, yeah, my English is and here we create the page tutorial 2, but let's go back to the page that we were in. So as we say, we will create a layout for body. So here we can do this, exactly this. We drag here in the elements selector, we just search for layout, and then you can find layout. Okay, now we create this layout, and please name everything in your content tree. So I will call this body. Let's go back to Figma, and as you can see, this layout as you can see, this layout has 24 pixels from all sides. So it has 24 pixel spacing from all sides. So we can actually go back to Tubics to harmony, and for this layout you should go here. There's margin and padding. What is the difference between margin and padding? Margin is the spacing around the element, and padding is the spacing inside the element. So to differentiate, we can actually give this let's give it a color for now. So maybe let's give it a color of 1876FF. Okay, and And yeah, the reason that you don't see this layout is that you didn't define a width and a height for it yet. So Harmony assumed that the width and the height of this layout is 0. So you have to define width and height first. So we want the width to be 100%, which is 100% of the screen width, and the height is 100 VH. And VH stands for viewport height. Viewport is basically your window height. So now we have this nice layout, which is called body, and we wanted to add a spacing around it, which is 24bx from all sides. So let's do this to show you the difference between margin and padding. So margin is basically the spacing around. So if I define 24 pixels around, so the spacing outside of the element. Here's 24 pixels. Here's also 24 pixels. Here is also 24 pixels. So yeah, you can see from all sides I have a spacing of 24 pixels. And this is basically what I want to do. So maybe let's switch back to the color of the normal color of the layer, because I don't want my body to have a background color, so I will just take off the background color. And yeah, now we have this body, and it has spacing around it of 24bx, and it has a width of 100% and a height of 100 viewport height. Yeah, inside this body we have actually two components. We have the side nav and we have the table itself. So let's create inside this layout. So we should go back to, if you want to add an element, you should click here and search for also layout. And I want to add this layout inside here, and I also want to add another layout for the side nav and for content. So let's call this, maybe not content, but I will call it table itself. Table itself. Maybe I can also zoom so you can see it better. So yeah, and yeah, now I have body, I have side nav, I have table itself. So but also when you create a layout inside the layout, this layout by default doesn't have any width or height property, so you cannot see it on the page. So I want actually the height of both the side nav and the table itself to be 100% of the height of the body. So I should define this as 100%, and I want them to be aligned like beside each other. So here I should select this icon if I want the elements inside my layout to be aligned beside each other, and I should select this one if I want the elements to be underneath each other. So maybe we can actually give these layouts a height, so you can we actually wanted this to be height 100%, and we also wanted this to be height 100%, and I want the width of this one to be 158 bx. Why is this? Because this is the height that I specified here. It's 158 bx, and I want the width of here to be just 100%, which will take the remaining of the size basically. So yeah, why I want this to be 100% and why I made this 158 bx, because for responsiveness I want this to be the width of the table itself to be flexible with the screen size. So yeah, that's it basically. Yeah, so what I wanted to show you is how to align layouts. So for example, I will give this color, which is 283, 238, and I will give this a color of a background color of 1876 FF. So yeah, and I click on my body layout. So now they are aligned beside each other. If I want to align them underneath each other, I just do this, and then it moves to underneath. Okay, and this is basically like the difference between this one and this one is basically they will change the order, and the difference between this one and this one, basically they also change the order. The other content layout things is if you click this one, it will align them center, and this will align them left, right. If you also click here, it will align them center, down, up, center, down, and this is the default basically. So I will just align, I want my content to be beside each, I want the layout to be beside each other, and I want them to be aligned left. So yeah, let's take off the background color because I don't need it actually, and here I also don't need this blue background. So now I have my side nav layout. Now I have my table layout, in which I'm gonna put this layout elements that we defined here. So before actually doing this, I want to add a spacing between the video, like the side nav and the table content, and the spacing is 24px. So I can just go here and the side nav, and I can just add a margin left. This is margin left 24px, and as you can see, they are having a margin of 24px between each other. So now I have let's whenever we do something, we can just like take it, strike through it. How can I strike through something? Font, yeah, strike through. So, and we also did this layout for the table, so you can actually strike through it also. Or maybe not strike through, but underline. And here I will also underline this. Okay, so yeah, let's create the elements inside the side nav. So we have title, we have first tab, and we have second tab. In general, it's a good practice to, for each element, you put it inside the layout. So I would, inside nav here, I would drag 3 layouts. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. First one is title, second one is first tab, third one is second tab. Okay, title is a text, so I'm gonna go to my add element and I'm just gonna add text, and also first tab is also a text, contains the text, and second tab also contains text. Okay, so let's go to title. What do I want my title to be? I want my title to be yeah, for 16 16 font size. No, actually 14 font size, and it has a distance of 16px between title and the first tab. So let's do this. So my title, I'm here in my title, I want it to be 16px, 14px, I meant, sorry, 14px, the line height is 16px, the font family is IBM Blex Sans, and the text of the title is just what is the text? Yeah, it's called videos. Okay, cool. Now we have a nice title and it says videos. And as I said, I wanted to make the spacing between the title component and the first tab of 16bx. So I just go to title here and add 16bx. Cool? Yeah. And we forgot to align them correctly. So the side nav bar, I want elements to be aligned underneath each other, so I would select this type of alignment. So now I have the title and now I have my first tab. So first tab, what do I have in my first tab? I have border here, left border of, I think the left border is 2bx, something like this. I have an icon and I have this text which says high potential. So I would take this one icon, I will export it as a SVG, and I will take this color here also, it's because I'm gonna use it, and this background color also I'm gonna use it. So yeah, let's go back here. We have a title that says high potential videos. It's 14bx, height is 16bx, font family is IBM Blex Sans, and it's just high potentials actually. Yeah. And yeah, sorry. And what else we have? Yeah, we have in this, there is a spacing bit of 16bx from all sides around the content of the first tab. So as you can see here, there's 16bx from all sides. So I just defined this as the padding of the first tab. So the padding is yeah, 16bx, 16bx, 16bx. Yeah, so that's my padding. I said I have a border of 2bx, so it's just from the left. So here 2bx, 0bx, 0bx, 0bx. The border style is solid, otherwise it will not be visible. And the color is this one. So yeah, now I have the border. I mean, you cannot see it, but it's here. Maybe I can make it bigger so you can see it. First tab and the border, I can make it, for example, 4bx, so you can see it. Yeah. Sometimes Harmony takes time to display things. Yeah. Anyways. Second tab, which is also might be the same as the first tab in terms of design, so I can just, yeah, I can just copy paste it again, or I can also do the same steps again. So here I did a padding of 16bx, 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 and the text here should say all videos, and it's 14bx, IBM Blex Sans, height is 16bx, and yeah, that's it. So yeah, and I can also should give it a border of 0bx, 0bx, and yeah, 0bx, 4bx. And what is the border color here? I think it is this one. So I would just go here and add a border of yeah, the color is here. This is the border color, and the style is also solid. Yeah, I don't know why it shows it here and doesn't show it evenly. I can just make it solid. It should show it. Yeah, yeah. So, sometimes Harmony is strange. So yeah, now I have my side nav. Yeah, what's left is I should add a background color here, which is this one for the first step. Yeah, and the text color is this one for the first tab. It's a text color of, so text color here, you should go and paste it, this one. And the font weight is medium, 500. Medium font weight is in Harmony, you cannot write medium. Actually, you can write medium. So what happens if I write medium? Yeah, it's the same. Yeah. So yeah, just wait a second because I need to reply on something. So let's go back. Yeah. Yeah, as you can see here also we have in the first tab we have an icon here and an icon here. So maybe let's also export this icon as an SVG. And in general, as I said, that you should actually put everything in layout. So even the icon, I will add it in a layout. So copy, paste before, and the spacing between the text and the icon is 8bx. So I will also add here 8bx spacing, and here's 8bx spacing. And in order to add the icon, you need to add an image element. So image here, image here. Let's go upload. Okay, downloaded it as a zip file. I don't want it as a zip file. I want it as I want it as an okay. Let's make it BNG. Maybe it export BNG. Okay. Anyways, I want this as a maybe yeah. No, I don't want to just okay. Let's it's the correct icon. Cool. So I will I'll just grab this things here, upload, go to downloads, this one, no, it is this one, open, and I want this to have the height is okay, I think. And for this one also I want to upload an image, upload, and maybe it should go back, downloads, Harmony app one, this one, yes, cool. Now I have this nice layout here, so I can actually give it more width because it's too tight. So let's say 168 bx, for example, or 180 bx, let's say. Cool. And now we have this nice layout of the side nav. So we can actually go back to this thing, and we can actually mark them all as done. So now we should go to the table itself. The table has, so let's actually expand this one and go to this one, table itself. The table, as we said, we have like we have three things. We have the one is the title, 2 is the table header, 3 is the table body. So let's add 3 layouts inside of the table itself. 1, number 2, and number 3. Let's call this title. Let's call this because we have because it's a table component, table header that consists of table body and table header and table body. So I will make just this, I will call this table, and inside of table I will put 2 layouts for the header, and I will call this body. Cool. So yeah, we have the title. So let's go and grab a text element and put it inside here, and yeah, and you guys just give me a second. High potential list. What is the title actually? Yeah, high potential videos. Let's copy, paste it here, and we actually have another text here which says next update date on Sunday. So I'll just copy this one here. Copy, and here I will say, what should I say? Yeah, next update date is Sunday. Yeah, we forgot again to align them correctly, so they should be actually, yeah, we have to actually specify a height for the title def, otherwise it takes 100% of the height of the screen. So I want to make this to be, what is the height of this thing? I want this to be 20 bx. So let's make it 20 bx. Yes. Yeah. And actually we forgot again to make the correct alignment. So I want this content inside this to be underneath each other. So I would just do this. And now I have my title, and underneath it I have my table body, and I want this to take a height of 100%. So it should take the remaining height of the layout. And I want my title to have a spacing of 16 bx on the bottom. And I want this to have a different color, because in the design it has a different color. So I should make this different color. Go to text to color and paste this color. Cool. So now I have the title. Let's take this off from our list. Yeah. And now let's go to the table itself, and inside the table itself we have 2 things. We have header and we have body. And as you can see, inside header and body we have 6 things. We have 6 elements. We have video, SEO priority, improvements, views, search term, and call to action. So let's add 6 layouts inside the table header. So I'm in header, layout 1, I'll just paste after, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So the first one we said video, SEO priority, improvement, views, search term, CTA. So let's call them video. Second one is SEO priority. Improvements. View search term. Views search term and CTEs. And because we say the table header and the table body should have the same number of columns, so we will just go here, copy, paste inside, copy, paste inside, copy, paste inside, copy, paste inside, copy, paste inside. Actually we duplicated this, so I should delete it. Improvement, yeah. Copy, paste inside, no, and copy, paste inside. So now you have the same things for the header and the same things for the body. And actually for the whole table, I want the whole table to have this background of white and a border color of E2, E6, E9. So let's do this. Let's go back to the table. I want the table to have a background of white, which is FFF, and border from all sides 1b X, solid, and this is my border color actually that I want. Yeah, now it added the border color as you can see here. And not only this, but I also wanted to have, in general you should have a corner radius, so it's not looking very sharp, so I usually add a corner radius of 4px. And yeah, now you have a table header, and now you have then a nice table, and we are gonna fill it with data now. So as we said, for the header we have just text for each column title. So video titles, video text, and this is actually empty because this is just, as we say, it's the here it is, yeah, it is this one. We shouldn't add a title that says button, so we just leave it empty. So yeah, let's go back to Harmony and add a text layer inside. Actually, let's do this. Since the text and the text here is the same style as the actually we didn't define a text size here, so this is actually 14px, IBM, Blix, Sans, height is 16px, and this is also 14px, IBM, Blix, Sans, height is 16px, and this is medium font, and this is also medium font. And yeah, if you want to click on things to highlight and where it is in the content tree, you should click on this toggle edit mode button, and this one I want it to be medium also. Cool. And I want, basically, because we have here, we have this and this has the same font style, so I would just copy this text and paste it inside each one. Paste inside, paste inside, based inside, based inside, based inside, based inside. Yeah, now you can see they are basically sticking like to each other without any spacing between them, because I haven't defined any spacing rules for these for the table, columns. And this is what I'm gonna do now. But before this, I should actually add a spacing of 16bx, because in general in tables we have 16bx from all sides around the table header. So yeah, I can just add this 16bx, 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 and yeah, as you can see, it's taking 100%. Each column is taking 100% of the height, which is not what I want. I want this to have, actually I want the table header to have a fixed height. So I just go here, and what is the height of the table? It's 48bx. So I could just say for the table header, let's make it a fixed height of 48bx, so it doesn't expand. So the content in it doesn't expand. So here also, let's make it like this, and I should align this center. ACO period, I should align the center and give it a height of a margin of 16bx from all sides, 16bx from all sides, 16bx. Let's just copy it, paste here also. Yeah. And why I'm actually putting it in as a padding and not as a margin, because this is the spacing inside the layout. So I want a spacing, yeah, this is the spacing inside basically. So yeah, here also yeah. And what I'm just need to change the titles again. So videos second is SEO priority, third is what is the third column? Yeah, improvements, views, search term. Yeah. Now we have this nice little thing here with the, actually, yeah, with the headers, like with the headers inside of it, with the column headers inside of it. So I have video, SEO priority, improvements, views, search term, and CTAs. But you can see here that actually the width of the header is not taking the 100% of the width of the body of the table. So we should actually do this. We should make this a width of 100%. And now it's 100% width. And I don't want my columns to be like this, because as you can see here, the column content is getting very big. So I actually want to do this here. I want to make the video the biggest column, and I want to make the other columns smaller than the video column. So let's do a math game here. So here I have the total width of the table is 1210. So let's go here and make this math game. So this is my total width, and for each column, so I would just copy this thing here, I want to make a width. So what is the width of this? What is the width of this thing here is 504. So let's 504, and this has a width of 109, and this has a width of 154, and maybe not 154 because I actually want to make this a little bit bigger. Maybe let's stick to 154. This has a width of 116, and this had a width of 162, and this had a width of 163. Okay, let's do this. Let's do the math game. So I want to define a percentage of each column from the total width. So 504, so I'll just open a calculator and let's grab a charger first. My phone is dying. Okay, so let's do the math game. As you say, we want a calculator. And what I want is 504 over, 504 over 1210 equal 0.41. So let's make it 42%. And the other one is 109. 9 over 120. So this is nearly 10%. This is, maybe this is 15%. This is maybe is I think also 10%, and this is also maybe also 15%, and this is maybe also 15%, and you need to make sure that they are all add up to 100%. So I have 15, 15, 15. What is this again? Actually 160 over maybe 160 over 1210. Actually this is 13%. So 13%. Yes, 13%, and this is 13%, and this is 13%. So I have this as maybe let's make this 9%, so they all add up. So I have 42 plus 10 is 52 plus 13, 55, 65, 65 plus 9 is 74, plus 13 is 87, plus 13 is 100. Okay, so this is This makes sense somehow. No, it doesn't. So let's go it again. We had said 42 plus 10 plus 13 plus 13 plus 13 is yeah, plus 13 plus 9 plus 9 plus 13 plus 13. Oh, it's 100. Okay. Cool. That's cool. Okay, so now they are 100%. So now we can actually copy these values. So I want this to be 42%. Which says 42%, and I want this to be 10%, 13, 9, 13, 13. 13%, 9%, 13%, and we said this is 13%. Maybe let's check again, because I actually wanna make this, I'm not sure if I wanna make this 13%, so I will just make this 12% and add 1 in the, I will make this 14%. Okay, and what else do I need? Yeah, so I'll make this search term 14%, I'll make this 12%. So yeah, let's go back. So this is 12% and this is 14%. And yeah. So as you can see here, they are yeah, they are, I have my column headers, and what I'm also do is like not only to define a width of as a percentage, but I need actually to define a minimum width and a maximum width for each column. And why is this? Because yeah, because if you don't define a minimum width and a maximum width for the whole for the column, when you resize the screen, the content will overflow each other, and you don't want the column to overflow each other. So I want to define a minimum width, which is let's say, for example, I want the minimum width maybe to be, for example, here I may want the minimum width to be 400. Or maybe not, let's not make it like this, because this is the total width of, let's say we have 3 screen sizes. 3 screen sizes equal, for example, 1090. We have 1440. So this is actually the MacBook screen, the default one, and we have the 1920. So let's do this. So 1920 over 1440 equal 33%. So here we can add plus 33%, and what is the other size? Yeah, here. What is the other size is, yeah, 1090 over 1440, which is Yeah, so minus, we can say minus 24%. So this is minus 24%. Maybe let's make this bigger so you can see it. So for each of these things, I will add plus 33% and as a maximum width, and minus 24% as the minimum width. So for this one, for example, the minimum width, if we divided minus 24%, the minimum width would be 375 px. Let's call it 374 px, okay. And the maximum width is plus 30%, so plus 160 maybe. So let's say it's 660 bx or 670 bx, okay. So this is for the first one. No, actually this is wrong. I am not. So I'm in the first one. I said it's 375 bx and the maximum width is 670 bx. So this is the first breakpoint. The second column I will also add 33%, which is like, I think maybe let's say 154. This is the minimum, this is the maximum, maybe 150 bx, let's say. And the minimum width is minus 24%, which is let's say 78 px. Cool. And the improvements, if we add 33%, that would be, let's say 60. Let's say it's 210. Yeah, 210 bx, and if we divide by like that's 75, maybe 116 px, let's say. Okay, views. Let's say, okay, let's do it here like this: 162 times 1.33 216. Let's say, yeah, 216 x. No, I'm actually not in that. Views is 116 plus 33%. Yeah, let's say 116 times 1.33 154 over px, and divided, what was this again? 116 times 116 times 0.7 116 times 0.75 87, let's say 88, because I always want to stick to like even numbers. Search term, we said it's 2020 px, let's say. and this is minus, so 29, 147, let's say, or 146 px. And the call to action, we say it actually, so if this 162, yeah, maybe it should be the same as the previous one. Yeah, maybe let's make it 200 px maximum. Or I actually want this column to have a fixed width actually. Or yeah, let's make it like this. 200 px. In this case, I'll make this 240 px. Okay. And yeah, so yeah, we have now the we now have defined the width, a minimum width and the maximum width for each column, and we're gonna repeat the same steps for the table body because it should have the same width properties for each of. So video, we should copy the same things here. So maybe you can actually, yeah, let's 42%. 375, 670. 375 px, 6 px. And this one was 10%, 78, 150. 10%, 78 bx, 150 bx. And this one was 13 bx, 116, 210. 13%, 116 bx, 210 bx, and this one was 9%, 88, 154. 9%, 88 bx, 154 bx. And let's make sure we got correctly. Yes, 14%, 146, 240. 14%, 146 px. And what did you say? Yeah, 240 bx. 240 bx. And the last one is 12%. Yeah, he said, yeah, 12%, 146 2bx. 12%, 6px, 200 px. Okay, yeah, now we have a nice thing here. Where's the body actually of this table? Header, yeah, actually, we should actually, we forgot to align them correctly. So we have the header, and underneath the header we have the body, so we should make them not beside each other but underneath each other. And now we can see the body, and as we say, the body should take the remaining height of the table, so it should be 100%. And you can see here that this and this has the same width, this and this has the same width, this and this has the same width, this and this and has the same width, this and this has the same width, this and this and this has the same width. So if you see it like this, then you're good to go and you can add your content. So what we did so far is we added this here, we are done with it, and we added the table body itself. And now we need to add the table content. So column 1 let's take them column by column. Column 1 we have video thumbnail, video title, video date, and video privacy. So let's first go to add video thumbnail. So we need to, and the content inside of this is aligned beside each other. So we should add two layouts here. We should add a layout here and call this thumbnail, and under beside this I want another layout which is called title and date and what else, privacy. And let's add 3 layouts inside of this. So one for title, and one for as we say it for title, one for the date, and one for privacy. And because I want the date and the privacy to be beside each other, so I would actually add them inside the layout in themselves. So I would add a layout here, and I'll call this layout date and privacy. So yeah, date and privacy, and I will add this here, date inside this layout and inside this layout. So now I have, and because I want this actually to be, I want the title, and then underneath the title I want the date and privacy, so I will align them instead of beside each other, I will align them underneath each other. So I have my thumbnail, I should add an image component, an image here, and the image should have 68 times 120 px. So no, that was, I didn't want to add this, I wanted to add an image inside the thumbnail. Yes, and the image has a height of 68 px and 120 px, which is the standard YouTube image, and I wanted to have a border radius of 4 px. And maybe I can also give this the same width and height of the thumbnail, so 120 px and 68 px. And I want the thumbnail, the distance between the thumbnail and the thing here is 12 px, so I should add a 12 px. And because I didn't add any padding around the row, then as you can see the image is directly adjacent to the border, so this shouldn't be the case, so I should add a 16 px from all sides of the table, so of the table row. So here I should also add 16 px, 16 px, 16 px, 16 px. Same for views. Same for, yeah, cool. So I added my thumbnail image, and as we say, the image is bound to data. That's why we didn't upload any image yet. Now we need to add the video title, the video date, and the video privacy. So video title. Let's go here, and and let's grab a title. For example, I use this one, copy, so this is the title of I was just fixing the alignment. So this is, let's say the video title goes here, and 14px medium, let's not say medium, let's say 500, because obviously it doesn't sense medium. 500 500 the font weight. Harmony, unfortunately it reads only regular and bold, but it doesn't read medium. So yeah, now I actually don't want this to be medium, I just want this to be 400, which is normal font weight. And I want the text color to be 283238. Okay, so here I have a nice video title, and now I need my date and my privacy. So I will add the same thing here. No, paste inside. Yeah. And I actually want this to have a different font color, and I will call this date, and I would call this privacy, and I would give this the same font color, 757575. And what else do I need here? I need this some kind of line border. So I would add this, but as a separator, so I can copy, paste after. I will call this separator, and I will do the following. I want double space bar, double space. Okay, cool. And I actually want a padding of like a margin of 8px between the title and date and privacy. So I go to the title and I'll add 8px underneath it. Cool. Now I have an image, title, date and privacy. Let's go to SEO priority, which was actually a label. So actually what's nice here is now we have a label component. Actually we don't have yet a label component, so we can actually, we said that the label is actually a layout with text inside of it. So I would go here to SEO priority. I will add a layout, and inside this layout I will add the text. And let's get this text, for example. I can copy it, I can we want the label to have a fixed height, so it has a fixed height of 22px. Let's call this label, (22px) we said is a fixed height, and we want the text to be label and yeah, we want the content inside the label should be aligned center, so it should be like this. And from both sides we need what is the 8px, 2px, yeah. So inside the label we want a padding of 2px, 2px, 8px, 8px, and the label has a background of, yeah, let's take this color as a background. Yeah. Let's take this color as a background. So now you have a nice label and it has a corner radius of 4px. So yeah, now we have a label, and the only difference is it has a text size of 12px, right? Or 14px. No, it's 14 actually. It's 14px. Okay, now we have a nice label. And we will copy the same label and paste it inside of improvements. So paste inside. And yeah. But in the improvements label has a different style, so it has the yeah, 2666 and a background color of this one. So we'll take the label here, and difference is we have 6px here and 6px here, and the color is gray. Let's call this label. And we have the views, we just have a text inside views, so copy, paste inside. Here we have views, and search term, we also have a text, just a text inside, right? Yeah, just a text inside, so you can also do the same. Based inside search term, and CTAs which is nice. It has it has components, so I can add. Yeah, it looks like I cannot copy, cannot take a component from here. So I just click save and go to the video, the final video list page. Where is it? Video list page. And yeah, it's loading forever. I will take this button, copy, go to tutorial one, table, body, based inside. And that's because, why the hell, yeah, it has a width of 100% and it has a height of, okay, now that's weird somehow. Okay, let's discover what went wrong here. Yeah, it has, yeah, from all sides I think we need 1bx, 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 and the color of D5, D5, D6, DD, solid. And I think this button has a height of a fixed height. In general, buttons should have fixed height of 36px. So the height is 36px, and it shouldn't have a width of 100%. It should have just it depends on the content inside the button, and the button here should be called optimize. Cool. So now you have this nice table, and we can click preview this page, and now we have the table, and we just need to repeat over this data. As you can see, there's no border actually between the the table title and the table header and the table body. So I'll just add a border of dubx 1bx, and the border color should be d5 d6 dd solid. And for the body, I also want the same border style, so 0bx 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 0bx, actually no, 1bx because it's the bottom border, I want to keep it, d5 d6 dd, and I want to make it solid. And yeah, I have a border. I think it should be visible. Yeah, now I have a border. And yeah, as you can see that unfortunately this body is taking still 100% of the height of the screen, and I actually want to make this as a fixed height. So what is the fixed height of this is 116, so I will make this fixed height of not 100% but 116 bx. Cool. And yeah, now let's get to the interesting part, which is binding this layout to data to display the actual data of the video list. So to do this, if you go to the data view, you can see here video list, and you can see inside the video list, inside each video you have thumbnail URL, you have title, you have views, you have visual potential, which is the SEO priority, you have privacy status, you have published ad, you have has a draft, you have AB in progress, you have AB done. So yeah, what we forgot actually here is to add this status label inside of each video. So that's actually what I'm gonna do now, is I will add inside if we go back to the video, we have inside here, I will add another layout, which here I will add just 6bx because I want a 6 pixel spacing between the date, like the privacy data, and the label, copy label based inside, and I will call this status. And this status has a fixed height of, as we say, 22bx, and the label also has an image actually, so we should add an image inside an icon image. So export, and we should go here and add an image. We build this image inside the layout, and we call this icon, and we change the icon to be the image that we just wanted to be. Okay, no, not this one. Yeah, this one. Yeah, I don't know why it doesn't upload, but yeah, let's just keep it like this. Maybe let's go again, click upload. Okay, anyways, we will not judge. And I want a spacing around the icon of, yes, the spacing between the icon itself and the text is 4bx. So I added a 4bx here. So now I can go back to my data and go to video list. I can copy this. This is the data that I want to repeat on, to take the video data from. So I can go here and paste this in body, go to data binding, add video list, and click repeat data items. And now this is the amount of videos that you get. And inside the data, actually we want some data inside data. So video list, and we want the thumbnail URL to be displayed. So we copy this thumbnail URL and go to the image of the thumbnail, and inside the URL we say data binding thumbnail URL. Now we have the thumbnail. And inside the video title we say video title goes here. What is the title property? The title property is just title, so we just take title and go here and say data binding is title. Yeah, you can see that the content is overflowing each other because I think we didn't define a minimum. We need to define a minimum width and maximum width maybe here for also. So minimum width I would say 20bx. Maximum width I would say, actually minimum height and maximum height. So 20bx is the minimum. Maximum height is, let's say, 60bx. And the height should be 100%. So, cool. Maybe let's increase the maximum height to be, for example, 70 bx. Or yeah, let's 80 bx, 80 bx. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I mean, when we resize the screen, I think it will be fixed. Yeah, and in general, that's because the video length, we display the full video length, and we should actually display not the full length of the video list, but some part of it. And if you want to do this, if you want to make the, yeah, I mean that usually if you want to make the not display the video length, the total video length, but you want to display just a part of the video length, you should go to the developer that's working with you in Harmony, and here there should be written a JavaScript syntax, just one line of code that does this for you. But now I would just keep it like this. So let's move on. Date, we wanted the date to be bound to the publish date, which is published at. So here I go to published at, and privacy I want it to be privacy, I think it's also privacy. Yeah, privacy states. No. Data binding, privacy states. And yeah, label. Yeah, here's the thing. Actually, we have something in Harmony which is conditional and rendering. Conditional rendering means that if I have a label, display the label. If I don't have a label, then don't display the label. And how can I do this? I should put this label thing inside, I should put this status thing inside a create if. A create if is basically saying that if I have a condition and this condition is true, then put this component for me in the page. So I would just say here, I'll cut this here and paste it inside. Based inside, and this is basically, I would name this if there is a status. So if there is a status, the status is video list dot ab done. Let's call this true, for example. Let's make this true to show it, probably. So we should say here, we should write the following. We should, first you need to type this. Type is code 3. This is something in Harmony that you cannot change. And you should type the following: $, brackets, binding dot vid, what is the name? ab done. Yeah, binding dot ab done. And as you can see, for the first video, the ab done is true, so it displays, and for the second video the ab done is true, so it displays. So that's basically the conditional rendering and how it works. And you need to actually, since you have like 3 status, so you have ab test done, you have ab test in progress, you have ab test, you have a status called draft, then you need to continue the same process again for the other 2 types of status. So I would copy, paste after, and this is if there is ab done. This was the first one, and if there is a draft, this is the second one, and actually this should say ab done in this case, ab done, and this should say draft. And if there is a draft, so binding dot, what is the data binding for draft? Has draft. So you should say has draft, and now you see that the videos that has draft get displayed the status label beside it. So let's go back and continue adding the data for the other columns. So for the other columns, we have the SEO priority. So that's bounded to what is this? Visual potential. So let's go here and add, instead of add visual potential, medium low, medium low, medium low, medium low. Good. And here improvements. Now that's tricky because we only want to display, we don't want to display the total amount of improvements, but we want to display only 2 improvements. So what we would do is we will copy inside of improvement, we will copy this label 3 times because we only want 3. Let's call it imb1, imb2, imb3. Okay. Actually, we only want two labels, not 3. So I will just delete this one. Delete. Okay, and in the data, as you can see, the video list, and if you go inside, you have the RICs, which is the improvements. And I should basically say this. I should say RICs dot name, but it's not, because I want only the first 2 ones. So I should say, actually I should say, maybe I could go here, I should say rex, because I want the first one is always starts at 0 dot name, and I want the second one which starts at 1 dot name. And I can basically go here, copy this, and inside the label, where is my label? Data binding, rex. Why it doesn't work? Video list. Yeah, maybe, yeah, that's true. That's weird. It doesn't work. Why it doesn't work? Okay, for now let's actually, maybe let's display like the old number of improvements anyway. So yeah, I will delete im2, and here I would just data binding to rex, repeat data items, and here I would say, for the text I would just say name, and I want them to be underneath each other, and each one should have, yeah, like this, and each one should have like an 4bx, probably 8bx spacing underneath it. So yeah, and why you have like the content is getting outside of this, because I have a maximum, I set a maximum width for the yeah, for the container, for the column container. But if I view it in full screen, you will see that it's also still doing this. But what you should do in this case is that you should go to the developer who is working with you. So as I said earlier, you can write a JavaScript here, one-liner that basically say something like this: binding dot name dot substring, and from 0 to 20, this means that I only want the first 20 characters of this. And yeah, that's it. Yeah, one thing also that I wanted to mention is probably for every column you want to add a tooltip. And the way you do this is by going to Harmony and say tooltip. And let's say I want to add the tooltip after the video title. The background of the tooltip is usually, let's say, D5, D6, DD, size of 12bx, and I want to give this 4bx, let's say, and you just add tooltip text. So the tooltip text, I would say here is the video data on YouTube, and if you hover, you will see here is the video data on YouTube. Cool, let's continue. So I repeated over improvements. I think what's remaining is views. So let's go to views, and this is basically the data binding, I think, is views. Cool. And search term, what is the data binding for search term? Search term, data binding, search term, and the thing is, actually, in the views column, as you can see here, the views actually is aligned to the right, not the left, because it's a number. So I actually want to change the alignment here for views to left, and also here, and I probably should add 16bx here, and yeah, cool. So now we have video data, we have the SEO priority, and yeah, maybe here I can add the for title, as I said, this can be just maximum height. What is 16 times 3 is, I think, is 48. The X, and actually I want the font, yeah, it's 14. Actually the height is 20. Yeah, anyways, so yeah, I just made the maximum height as 48 because it's 3 lines. 3 times the line height is 16, so it's 48. This is the maximum height for the title div layout. And yeah, now you can see that I have a nice table. If you go full screen, now you can see here, yeah, I have a nice, very nice table, which is cool. Yeah, maybe what I need to change here is go here and edit the icon, because this is the wrong icon. Open. yeah, Harmony somehow has an issue with the things. And yeah, now you can see I have a nice. Let's also view it and how it is responding to different screen sizes. So if we did this, you can see that it's actually, yeah, it's responding correctly to the I mean, for some columns it responds correctly to the resizing, but for some columns not. And maybe that's because we haven't. Let's try this out. Let's try to define a minimum width for the table itself. So if we go to the table itself, let's define a minimum width, for example, of 720 and a maximum width of 1920. Both are bx. And let's check again if the headers usually, if the, yeah, let's go like this. Usually if the, I think, yeah, they have the same 42%, 375, 670, and 10%, 78, 150, same, 13, 116, 210, 13, 116, 210, 988, 154, 988, 154. For, yeah, that's why, because I forgot to add a 13% here, the percentage sign here. 14%, 14, 146, 240, 14, 146, 240, 12, 146, 200, 12, 146, 200. Let's make sure again that they are formatted correctly. Yes. Yeah. And what else I wanted to do is I actually, yeah, let's click save and let's reload the page and let's resize. Yeah, now it works. Now it's responsive. Now it's responsive. Wow, 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 wow. Now it's responsive until you reach the minimum width, which is 720. Actually, maybe let's adjust the minimum width to be the tablet size, because that's actually the correct minimum width. So table itself, the minimum width is the tablet size, which is 1090 bx. And yeah, that's it, basically the video list. Thanks for watching. Maybe you can check if there is anything else that's missing. I don't think that there is anything else that's missing. We have a nice video list here, and yeah, that's it. We also talked about the topic of conditional rendering, which basically shows this label here when you have an status or not. And yeah, maybe what we can also cover with you is the here actually in the design. If you went back to the design, you will see that different labels have different colors depending on the status. And if you go to data, to the data of the video list, you have the visual, something called visual color, which is basically the color, the background color of the label here. And you can basically do a conditional rendering here, and the background, instead of having a fixed value to be bound to the value of the medium of the visual color. And the way you do this is, maybe let's go to a code editor. yeah, the way you do this is you just say binding dot visual equal, let's check if the visual potential is equal to medium, then put here a color code. Let's say, for example, this is the color code. Let's put something dummy. Else means this double dots. If is, yeah. So here it says if the visual potential is medium, that's a question mark. Then put this color code. Else we want another condition, so we would put this other condition in brackets. Binding the visual potential equal low, then we use this color code, any color code. Else, which is the double dots, binding, yeah, else use this color code, because they are basically 3 color codes. So if it's medium, use this color code. Else we have another condition wrapped in this curly bracket. Visual potential equal low, then use this color code. Else use this color code. So that's the way you do it. And basically you just copy this thing here and paste it. Where should I paste it? Yeah, where is the harmony tab? Yeah, basically you paste it here in this place, but instead of this I would just go to the original video list and I would go here to label, yeah. So basically we are copying so instead of actually like I'm writing this condition here to make the color, like if it's low then if its visual potential is medium, then use this color code. The front end developer was very kind to just give me a visual color, that he just gave me a visual color endpoint here, which just gets you the color code. So I can just copy this. I should just use this syntax. So circle $, brackets, binding dot visual color, and it should work. So if we went here, tutorial 1, and then we went to label, so here's my label, and just copied this here, and yeah, because I actually copied it in the wrong place, so just like this. Yeah, now it works. So yeah, thanks for we can preview the page again. Yeah, now you have a nice video list. Thanks for watching.